Hey chicks, let's chat. So my gripe today, I should say, or better yet, my question of concern today has to do with just kind of wondering how is it that we always seem to fall victim to certain trends and stuff like that, you know. I already did the video discussing like BBLs, etc., so forth, wigs, stuff, you know. So it's really like a follow-up on that, like adding to it, right? Because my concern is that, you know, who picked us to be the population to start buying into all of that? What made us latch on to those narratives that we need to do more, we need to buy more, we need to have more, we need to, you know, enhance everything as if what we had going on, you know, did it meet the mark already? So as I was putting on my makeup, that's when it kind of crossed my mind, right? Because, you know, and not to, you know, tell my age, but I tell my age because, hey, I'm blessed, like, to be here. So I never seen what the big secret was about not saying your age. But I come from a time when I used to watch my mama get dressed, right? And when she was going out, you know, and she had a couple of things, right? She had eyeliner, she had lipstick, she had a powder sponge, and she might have had either a powder foundation or a liquid. I rarely remember her having both, right? Now, I could be because she did have some pretty decent skin anyways, so I just really remember her using powder, right? And when I tell you that lipstick was eyeshadow, blush, and lipstick. And then she had that eyeliner, and she had mascara for them lashes. But when I tell you, when she finished with those little 5 tools, baby was right, you hear me? So, you know, how did we get from there to now? Because even me, I have a whole bucket of stuff. Even though I only choose to use certain things, still I have a bucket of it, right? But say for instance, like, we was taught coming up that you get the foundation or you get the powder closest to your skin tone, right? Hopefully you can find a perfect match. If you can, if you can't, you know, you get what's closest to it, because that's what look the best, right? Because you're trying to obtain a natural looking look, right? And this is no slight to any of the makeup artists, because hey, y'all gotta get y'all money, y'all have to do y'all thing. But how did we buy into the fact of, okay, buying all these different color, different skin tones of foundation, concealer, or whatever, right? So then right up in here, you look a whole shade lighter than how you look all around. And then somebody called that cute and said, this is how your makeup's supposed to be done. How did we just buy that? When we know we seen our grandmamas and mamas doing way less and looking way better. How do we just keep eating the bull crap that they selling us, right? I don't understand that, because it's not just in one area. It's too many different areas that we are just going off of what we see and letting people tell us that looks good when we know we were taught better, when we know that's not what it was. It don't matter what the trend is. It should not matter what the trend is. We should be able to look at certain things and make better decisions. We should be able to look at that and say, you know what? I don't care if they make it in a size 48. Based on my body shape, it ain't for me. Like, when did we lose good judgment? When did we lose good judgment? I don't care if they do make it in your toddler daughter size. It's too grown for her to be wearing. Like, that's why I say it's not just one area. It's not just one area where this is happening at. It may be one area that gets the most attention, like the BBLs and the hair stuff. Maybe that gets the most attention, but it's a lot of different areas in which, ladies, we listen. We got to start making better choices and stop following every single trend and stop eating off of every plate that's put in front of us, literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Because it just don't make sense. And I say, like, I had my lash tech, right? Well, she used to do my eyebrows and she was doing my lashes, because usually I get lashes when I went to get my eyebrows done. All right, I'm gonna start right there, because that alone was dumb. That alone was dumb. Because why is it that you got to wear lashes for every single day, as if you have to have on lashes every single day? Why did we buy into that? Lashes supposed to enhance, and if you're going somewhere, or you not saying, hey, listen, to each his own. You can spend your money doing whatever you like to do, because I too have done that. But when I sat back and started thinking about some things, right, I started making different choices, because it just seemed like we've been bamboozled, right? So back to my story, I had a lash tech that, I used to get my lashes done whenever she did my eyebrows. So that would probably be like maybe every 2-3 weeks, right? At least twice a month, generally speaking. So I had did her a solid, right? It helped her get her kid into I don't know, I helped her get a kid, I think, in a Head Start or something, either way, right? So she's a Vietnamese young lady. And after that, she wouldn't even let me pay her no more. So I thought, like, dang, okay, the first time, she just was kind, sweet, just thanking me. But when I say every time I came to her after that, I was like, wow, I ain't never seen this happen. But again, when you're a certain kind of person, favor comes to you in every different ways you can't even imagine, right? So I definitely couldn't imagine this. So I'm going to get my eyebrows and my lashes done. And I mean, I'm like, hey, literally, like, for a whole year, I had to say, listen, let me just tip you. If you ain't gonna take my money, let me just tip you, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of you. I know how to take a blessing, but every time, you know what I'm saying? So, needless to say, after that year, I ain't even want to pay no more, right? And I had moved to a different area, so it's like, okay, now I probably would, be looking for somebody closer to where I stay at. But it's like, I don't even want to do that no more. I don't want to pay for that service anymore, right? Of course, I'll pay for a wax on my eyebrows, but at the same time, like, no. So then I started looking, looking in different places, like, of course, Ross sell lashes, and everywhere sell lashes. So, get your glue, put something on. So I did that a couple times. And in the midst of me doing it a couple times, because every time it didn't go right, I was like, what you doing? How you got to the point of you got to wear this all the time? Like, what you have ain't good enough? Yeah, your lashes might don't even look the same to you no more, because you have got so accustomed to wearing, the fake lashes. So now, when you look at yourself, you feel like something is missing when you don't have on certain things. And I told myself then, like, that's a money grab. Like, you got to get back used to your regular stuff that don't cost nothing. Get back to buying some mascara. It's still out there. you can enhance your lashes with that. Because the truth of the matter is, there's no reason you should have to wear that every day. If you're wearing it every day, then on a special occasion, you know, when you really want to get dolled up, then what's going to pop out about you? What's going to be different when you dogging it every single day? Right? So, like I said, it just put me on the path to say, like, okay, let's dial back, because we all know that we're in an economic crisis, and in some way, shape, or form, the higher prices touch us. Whether it's when you go to the gas station, or whether it's when you go order your grocery, right? We're affected by it. So at some point, we all have to dial back in some way, just to make it make sense. So I'm like, listen, I don't want to have to, you know, do extra stuff just for me to be able to step out and be comfortable. What is it that's making me so uncomfortable stepping out when I don't have on lashes, or when my hair ain't to the middle of my back? Right? Even with this style, when I seen this little bald hair braid style, I was like, oh, that's nice. But instantly you think about, now my whole face finna show. Now what? Right? You ain't got that long hair masking nothing, or your big hair standing up masking nothing. So your features is on display. But when did we get to the point where we, as we are, is not okay? Where we can't just work with what we got, right? Figure out how to make the best of, even if it's a bad situation that we got, even if our facial features ain't nice, even if, you know, you feel like your lips too big or your lips too little. Like, it's ways to make stuff look nice without, you know, having to go in, put out extra money all the time just to work with what you have. Right? It's just like I say, it's so many areas you could tap into and say, hey, we're dropping the ball, and we setting the wrong tone for what's to come. Because if now you have to wear fake lashes every single day just to feel like you somebody, just to feel like your looks are up to par. What happened if the lash people go out of business tomorrow? What happened if you find out 10 years from now, 20 years from now, the lashes done caused people to be, it was chemicals in the lashes that caused people to go blind early? And we have to start thinking along them lines, because look what we found out with perms, that it was causing infertility and all kind of stuff. Shoot, that might be the reason they got no children now. Who knows? Part of it, right? I don't know. But the reality is that we have to start looking, we have to start thinking in that way, because we know that people will allow things to be on the market for us, specifically for us as black women, and know that it ain't no good for us. And we will go out and consume it and have it and use it like we don't know that they put things in society specifically to hurt us, or that will. Like, we don't know that FDA does approve things that are not good for us, especially in the United States. Like, when do we stop? When do we stop just buying into foolishness all the time, just for the sake of trying to look a little better? Just for the sake of trying to look a little better? And one thing about it, my message gonna fall on deaf ears for people who don't really want to accept that they buy into the foolishness. Soon as I start talking about, click. Oh, let people buy what they want to buy. Hey, I ain't never said you can't buy what you want to buy, because it's your bread, it's your cheese, it's your dough, it's your cash. Do what you want to do with it. But I'm just saying, when you walking in this life and you living in this life, you have to start thinking beyond just what's right in front of you. You have to be able to be a critical thinker. And a lot of us, we don't pass the critical thinking skills test. we're very shallow and on the surface. And that's just people in general sometimes can be very shallow and on the surface. But when you know that a lot of times, years later, things show up and it's hurtful and it's harmful for us, okay, we have to start thinking like, what I'm doing now can affect me 10, 20, 30 years from now. Or maybe even my kids, grandkids, or lack thereof. So I can't just jump on the next best and popular thing. I have to be able to think further than just how it's making me look, how it's making me feel today, right? And like I say, even when it comes to our little girls, right? I remember when, first of all, for me, I couldn't wear wasn't no putting no lipstick and nothing like that on me. But for nothing, not even for church on Sundays, there was none of that, right? And now I see it's becoming very trendy for little girls, for, you know, moms to doll up their little girls, etc., so forth. And hey, that's your daughter. You have every right to raise her however you want to raise her. But we do have to take into consideration, if you're allowing so many things at such a young age, what do they have to look forward to? Because I wasn't able to put on the lip gloss and the lipstick, soon when I got able to wear it and I had the green light to do it, I appreciated it more. But if you doing it at 5 and 6, what they gonna be looking like at 11 and 12? But because such and such little girl took her pictures and you know, looking extra grown in extra grown attire, you want your daughter to do it too. Such and such daughter did it and got how many likes and reposts. So now you allowing your daughter to do it. You know you didn't grow up like that. And it made sense, and we understand why that's not a good look. To have our daughters being too grown too fast, looking too grown too fast. And if you can't understand that, then hey, you listen, you missed the mark too. Somebody failed you too. So then I understand. But like I say, it's so many things that our parents did get right, that our grandparents did get right, and they rationale behind why they allowed some things and why they didn't allow some things, it totally made sense. So for us to now, as a generation, totally disregard it, so that we could post some stuff that may look cute, even though it does no good for us or our kids. Like, we have to start having better sense, making better judgment calls than that. Like I say, it's a lot of different areas that, you know, we just buy into whatever picture somebody paints for us. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, oh this was cute. Like, even how, you know, it's been big in the social media scene about the, you know, the proms and the type of dresses these girls are wearing and stuff like that. I'm all for the showmanship of like coming out and how you and your date present, you know, and you know, I'm all for the showmanship of that. Like I think that's pretty, that's elegant when, you know, a night when they can get dressed in their best and come out and show it in a very different and creative way. I'm all for that. But the daughters having dresses that show their whole body as if that's elegant. That's not elegant. That's not what elegance is. And it may be cute and it may look good, but prom is supposed to be a night of regalness, elegance, and you know, sophistication. Some of the stuff that they wear in the prom and stuff, they wear that same stuff to the clubs. So what's the difference? What makes this day stand out against any other day? Right? You don't see people just walking around in big, nice, white, wedding style dresses when they ain't getting married. No, because certain things are for certain events. So what's so special about what she got on when she just went out the other night? She was half naked and laced up. What's so grand about that? Then the stupidest trend is the boy is standing on the girl train, on the girl dress. Like, I'd be amazed that we really just go for some of this stupid stuff out of trends, out of following the leader. You know he don't supposed to be on that dress. Who paid for the dress? Whoever paid for the dress, you thought it was a good idea for him to stand on her dress. She might never wear it again. So maybe that's the rationale behind it. She'll never wear it again. But it looks a foolish mess for him to be standing on her dress. Would the groom stand on the wife's train? What photographer would tell that man to stand on her train? If he even stepped on it by mistake, that's a problem. Like, that's not supposed to happen. And yes, I feel some kind of way when you see your own people co-signing foolishness. Like, we don't have the good sense to do better, and we do. And we was brought up, a lot of us were brought up right. And I done seen a lot of us brought up right and just venture off and just do some, go start moving like your mama and your grandma didn't tell you better. Now, some people didn't have a mom or a grandma, you know. Some people were brought up in the foster care system, etc. So forth. I understand that you definitely don't get everything that you need when you brought up in someone else's care, right? Someone that they're watching after you because it's their job. You're not going to get the same care that you would get when you're raised in your household with your family most of the time, depending on the family. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, but nevertheless, a lot of us, we were raised with better sense than what we are projecting now on our youth, and we are definitely doing our youth a disadvantage. Sometimes you have to stop and think about the image that you're setting forth for other people. You may be doing something and you know it's stupid, but hey, you got a little money to burn, and if you want to get your lashes done and keep them done all month, so what? Right? That's how you feel. But for the people that's looking at you and your kids or whoever's around you that may be impressionable, what standard are you setting for them? They have to do it too because they see Miss such and such do it all the time. No. Or at least be woman enough to be verbal and say, I do this. It may not make sense that I do it, but this is just what I like to do. But don't ever feel you have to do it. You have to be able to own that thing and say, yeah, it's stupid that I do it. It may not make that much sense, but I've gotten accustomed to this. I fell into this bad habit, and this is how I'm moving. But you don't have to do it. Yeah, I'm crazy enough to be dressing my 4-year-old in crop tops. But this is not the move. This is not what you should do. I just seen such and such, and she's popular, and she had her daughter dressed like this. So I wanted to get my daughter an outfit and be able to post it so she ain't let her dress like this too. What happened to us that we are have been weakened and scared to stand in our own good, solid judgment and be okay with that, and be okay if you are not sending your son to school, you know, in the latest Jordans on the first day of school. That's still okay. It's still okay if we don't do that. If your son or daughter don't have the polo horse on their shirts or on their school uniform, so what? So what? It's okay. We have to be able to embrace that. If your son or daughter like Looney Tunes shoes more than they like little kid Gucci slides, so what? That's fine. It's like we have let the whole world frame our mind instead of being able to be a solid thinker and being able to stand on what makes sense and what works. Your kids shouldn't even, you shouldn't even be buying Gucci shoes and stuff like that for your kid if you don't have certain things in place in your own life. Because y'all will be the same ones who have to do a fish fry or a GoFundMe whenever somebody die. And you ain't ashamed of that. You ain't ashamed of that? Listen, if I live this life and they have to do a GoFundMe for me dying, I missed the mark. Because I knew someday I was going to leave here. And I never fully prepared. And I ain't even one that like to throw, you know, show everything. No. I'm not really that person. If you see me with something, okay, you see me with something. But I'm not announcing to the world about I got a new car or I did, you know what I'm saying? Like I announced my, you know, when I got a degree, things like that. But as far as, you know, tangible things, no. For what? Who cares? That's something I happen to like and when it spent money I ain't had to get that. That's why like I'm not impressed with it, because I know a lot of times when people posting that stuff, listen, that was money you really could have did something else with. Money maybe you should have done something else with. I don't like to really just post a lot of my ignorant stuff, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got stuff that's in collections, the nerve of you to be buying name brand stuff and not paying that stuff off that's in collections that you owe them people for that furniture, for them doctor bills, but you got the newest bag. A lot of times and we do stuff like that. I done did it, so I know it's a gang of other people doing it. We so jacked up with our priorities a lot of time. The people that started capitalizing off of us, places like Affirm and Afterpay, they done made it easy for you jokers to go and get stuff that you should not be purchasing and that you should not have, because they're gonna let you pay on it instead of just having to come up with a whole lump sum. Now are places like that beneficial sometimes? Of course, absolutely. I have Afterpay, sure do. And you know, the most stuff you spend on it, they keep taking your your allowance up, the balance what you can spend. But the reality is that we just have fell into a pit hole that we feel we have to have things that we don't have to have. We feel we have to have it at times when we don't have to have it. We really don't deserve to have it. We just trying to keep up with whoever else. And I'm just saying, as a woman and as a person who have done those things herself, so I ain't no better than anybody else. But at some point, you have to be able to sit down and say, listen, I can't buy it. Even if I am buying into some of the stuff, I can't just be a fool and buy into everything and do all the stupid, foolish stuff that you see people doing. When you can be doing something better, when you know you was taught to do something better, at some point you got to tap back into making better choices and not just eating off the plate that's in front of you, or buying into whatever somebody's selling you. Y'all enjoy y'all day.